Good morning. It's afternoon now. It's great to be here in Auckland, and it's really awesome to know that there is the opportunity for part of our global community to be connecting through Facebook, through Kea, and I think that's absolutely fantastic because, you know, so long we've felt, I think, that we've felt really isolated, but you know, I think that's a choice, and I'll talk a little bit about that later. So a little bit about me. Obviously, I'm in the technology space. I've done accounting, online task management, and the extremely nerdy web performance space. So I really enjoy sitting in a room full of geeks or nerds and then being able to translate that and take that product to market. Currently, I'm the director of the Kiwi Landing Pad in San Francisco, and I arrived in San Francisco in late 2011 after Aptimize was acquired by a San Francisco-based company called Riverbed Technology, and they're a massive NASDAQ listed company. But the notion of the kind of the three B's of success in New Zealand, I think is it Batch, BMW or Beach something, really doesn't resonate with what kind of drives me as a person, and as my dad would say, a bored Catherine is a dangerous Catherine. And so the landing pad for me really recognises, you know, an incredible opportunity as an entrepreneur to work with, you know, a number of New Zealand, particularly technology companies looking to break into the US market. So this is just a little snapshot, which I think is important to point out. And so the Kiwi Landing Pad, we're in an area of San Francisco called Soma, south of Market. Now in that 2 kilometre sort of area squared, there is approximately 8,000 startups. And this is a quick slice at the kinds of companies that are around us. And obviously, I've taken some of the more glamorous, you know, Atlassian, Twitter companies as examples, but it's also the 1- and 2-person companies. And these people, you know, they're American companies, but they're also from all around the world. And what we're doing with the Kiwi Landing Pad is providing, you know, a bricks and mortar space to help our New Zealand technology companies work together, be part of a community to help them launch faster into the market, and critically to help them recognise the one key thing that you need to understand before, you know, you launch, or when you're thinking about launching into the US, and that is adapting. So when I moved to San Francisco in November, I think it was November 2011, and I was out walking we brought our Labrador Java over with us, and she'd been out chasing squirrels, and we were on our way home and decided to get a coffee. And so I went into a coffee shop and ordered my latte and gave my name. And then I sort of stood aside and waited for the barista to prepare my coffee. And a couple of minutes later, a coffee pops up onto the counter, latte for effin latte. And I laughed to myself, oh, I'm back in America, you know, the crazy, you know, they name their children after cars, and, you know, nothing's that surprising. And anyway, I stood there and waited, and that effin latte got colder and colder, and then I realised, actually, that was me. I had mumbled, Catherine, and they had heard effin, E-F-F-N-N. Now, as a tourist, you know, that's okay. You can kind of talk through it and end up having this wonderful conversation about New Zealand and what an amazing country it is. But as a business, that's a critical thing that you need to recognise. You need to adapt so that you are understood. And it really begins at that most basic level. And there is no such thing as the citizen police who are going to come along and say, you are dropping, you know, more R's into your words and you're cutting out S's and putting in Z's. You know, it doesn't exist. The key is recognising that it's different and then adapting to address that. And it really is just a matter of getting those basic principles right, just slowing down, lengthening your words as you need to. I know that I'm Catherine, but at least I'm understood. And really watch those colloquialisms, because saying yeah, nah, yeah is sending one hell of a mixed message to a market that really wants to hear very concise elevator pitch. This is my name, this is what I do, and you know, that will help in your networking, because networking primarily is about getting opportunities. And so what you're wanting to do is to very quickly formulate your ask. And your ask might be, could you connect me with these two people in this sector, or whatever it might be. So having your pitch really refined so that they're able to help you and that they want to help you, because in the US, reputation is everything with your network, and they guard that very fiercely. The other key thing to think about is adapting your messaging. And being back here in New Zealand, I've seen a lot of press around the glass holes, and I'm going to look like a dork, I'll never wear them, I'll walk into a pole, oh my gosh, my privacy. In San Francisco, they're talking about the vision, and the vision really in this space is thinking about the Internet of Things, and that's talking about that sort of convergence where you can embed technology into any screen. So it's thinking about what opportunities open up, if you can put a screen onto a toaster, or thinking about, the Google glasses, or what those opportunities might open up for you. That's what Wayne was talking about before, being able to see the vision and talk to the vision. You don't have to have a working prototype, but you need to be able to understand where the market is heading. When we were starting Xero 7 years ago, and I was speaking to accountants and business owners and bookkeepers, the notion of the cloud was a very frightening thing to most people, and in fact there was probably less than a handful of accountants at that stage who were willing to put their business data up on the internet. Privacy was a huge issue, and that's 7 years ago. And so at that stage we were selling a vision. We weren't able to sell a product that was feature by feature for benefits, but it was selling that vision, and that's obviously where we are now. The third part to think about is adapting as the market keeps adapting around you. And that's one thing to sort of really understand, that isolation is a choice. Yes, you can be in New Zealand. In Aptimize, we were based in Wellington, but our primary market was on the west coast of the US. And when Google came along and said, we're going to set up a $10 billion division specifically for web performance, we're going to be hiring this amazing new VP, and they made an announcement in the press. And in New Zealand, someone tweeted, Google releases mod page speed, aka Aptimize, remember them. That was they believed our sort of death knell, when in reality, what Google did, we knew exactly what they were doing. We were very well connected into our market. We knew the person who was getting the job. He'd come from one of the companies in our network. And the reality was they validated our market. There were 6 little startups from around the world doing something similar to what we were doing. But the day that Google made that announcement, there was an article featured in the San Francisco Chronicle. They interviewed Google and their need for speed, so this new vice president. They interviewed one of the head analysts at Gartner, and the third person that they interviewed was the current thought leader and product leader in market, Ed Robinson, our CEO. So it's nothing to do with the fact of where we are physically located. It is about being connected into your market. So the Kiwi Landing Pad itself is, as I said, it's sort of that bricks and mortar space in San Francisco, but the reality, the real value lies, as we've heard over and over here again today, is in the people. It's in being able to connect with seasoned entrepreneurs and people in your entrepreneurial ecosystem so that you can get to market faster. You can learn these lessons and then you can act upon them. And we have 12 companies in there at the moment. We're actually going to hear from a couple today, which is fantastic. We've had 7 through an entrepreneur program. The Kiwi Landing Pad is a not-for-profit, but we do have a joint initiative with the Ministry of Business and Innovation where we're able to bring an entrepreneur in market for a month at a time, and we've done 7 of those. But really, as I said before, the value, yes, it's in physically being there and having a desk and all of those basic business things that you need, but it's actually about the people. It's about being able to connect in and integrate and build an ecosystem around yourself for success. And so that's us. You can't see there's a couple of yike bikes up there against the wall, and we need more space on that window now because we've got a bunch more logos to come up. But I think the value of also being a New Zealand company going in there into the heart of Soma and seeing your name there on the wall is actually incredibly powerful. And I look forward to meeting with some of you later. Thank you very much.